Gillian Welch is an American singer-songwriter. She was born in New York, but she's from Nashville. Her music's a mixture of country, bluegrass, and kind of folky traditional stuff. Her first album came out in 1996, and she's released 5 since then. Hi, my name's Dan, and I feel like I should have a little toy trumpet or something to make a fanfare, because this is the 300th album review that I've posted on YouTube, which means I am now 10% of the way through my huge list of 3,000. So let's get into the review then, without huge amounts of fanfare. So this was the debut album by Gillian Welch, and it's the second time that I've reviewed it. So before I started doing these video reviews, I had a blog, I had a different list that I was working to, and this album was on that list, so I reviewed it then, but it's grown on me since then, I would say. So, especially with the last few reviews, if you watch them, but if you watch several of mine, you might have realised that I do have a bit of an objection to country music, and this doesn't mean that I'm wholly anti this, although it is somewhat country-ish. So let's try and do description, but I'm going to go slightly obliquely and talk about a film. So I can't remember when it was. I think it was kind of in the late 90s. There was a film called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, which was done by the Coen brothers, and the soundtrack for this film was really good, but it was a mixture of bluegrass and Appalachian mountain music, whatever that means, and what I might describe as white gospel, which is kind of songs from early white churches, but it's things like, I feel like songs like You Are My Sunshine fit into that, but that's not really a churchy song. But that's kind of thing. They call it in the film old-timey music, and actually there is a term old-time music which is used in America to describe some of this music. The blanket term that has come in kind of more recently for this is Americana, which is a kind of a broad term that covers kind of American folk and bluegrass and things like that. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that's what this is. It's that kind of music, and it feels like stuff from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? So if you know that film and you've heard it, then that'll help you, and if you haven't, then it won't. Actually, Gillian Welch is on that soundtrack, and she's singing in some tracks with Alison Krauss, who I discovered through that film and really like, who's a bluegrass singer, and Emmylou Harris, who is more better known as a country singer. So the first time I reviewed this album, I struggled with the emotive aspects of it. This time I found it a bit more acceptable, but it's still a bit not sure about some of the overly emotive stuff here, particularly the tracks Orphan Girl and By the Mark, or By the Marks, and a few of the others. But musically, I really like the style, and it has, I'd say it's got quite a bit in common with some Celtic folk as well, in some ways. Musically, it's really simple. It's arranged simply. There's some really nice, subtle and understated playing in it. It feels kind of like you kind of trying to find, kind of reticent almost, but certainly kind of not show-offy. There are a lot of acoustic guitars and things like dobros and other related stringed instruments, so I'm not sure if there's any mandolin on here, but it wouldn't surprise me. I don't think I spotted any banjo, but there could have been. There is one track which has a stronger track with electric guitar in it, but it's all kind of still within this same kind of feel. And the other kind of distinguishing focus is tight vocal harmonies, and I think the track that typifies that most is the track By the Marks. So musically, it scratches my Oh Brother, Where Art Thou itch. Overall, I'd say it's pretty reasonable. Last time I gave it 6.8 out of 10. This time I'm going to give it a bit higher than that, because as I said, it's grown on me. So that's what I think. I'd love to know what you think. Please talk to me through the comments box. That's it from me for now.
When I cross over, I will shout.